Okay, we're going. Technology. Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel reseller, and I am running behind this week. Probably can't see it, but I had some dental work done this week and it's just all but nevertheless, I am going to do my what solds for this week. Well, for the September 27th through September 30th. That was Monday through Thursday of last week. And then I'm going to do another video on October 1st through October 3rd, which was Friday through Sunday. And then I think I might show you guys my spreadsheet that a few of you have asked about it. But today I'm just going to go ahead. I had a really good Monday through Thursday, and then the weekend just kind of was okay. I had an amazing sale, but it was just an okay. And then this week's been awful. Fourth quarter. But like everybody else, and I say this all the time, you got to list. Keep listing even when things are slow, because, you know, eventually it's going to pick up. So let me get started here. This first item is a Lego Duplo Cinderella set. I think I picked this up at a consignment sale or a yard sale, a couple of dollars, and I did end up selling it for the $22.95. This is a Spark Create Imagine. I talk about this brand all the time. It's Walmart. I love it. A lot of them have rattles inside of them. This monkey did. And I ended up selling it for a best offer of $15. This is a Kelly toy, My First Bear. I pick these up all the time in different colors. But this one still had its little tag attached to it. I have a cheat sheet over here, so if you see me looking, this one did sell for the $13.75. Just to repeat what I always say, I don't do free shipping. So when I say this thing sold for $13.75, the buyer did pay additional for shipping. This next item was from my online auction that I bought. This is a vintage magic Sprite elf. My husband Google lensed this for me. I would have never known. It had some major condition problems, but I went ahead and listed it. And you know, a lot of times you guys ask about cleaning stuff like this. I did not clean this other than it's spray it down with the steamer, because it just had, it's older, it had that thick stuffing to it. The shoes had this kind of like coating on it and it was cracking. So I just always say I'm leaving all cleaning to the buyer. But I ended up selling this Sprite for the $27.55. This is a Sesame Street Zoe cup. It has like the 3D face of her. There's several like this. The Taz, Bugs Bunny, Wile E. Coyote. There's a whole series that were similar to this cup. I pick them up anytime I see them. And I ended up selling Zoe for $14 best offer. This was a surprise. I think when I did the haul, when I found this, I thought, oh, this will sell for $15, $20. Well, it was a whole lot more than that. This is a Vera Bradley Baby Rabbit Lovey, and I ended up selling it for the $32.15. I've said this a million times. I love Loveys. I pick them up all the time. This is a Little Tykes Cozy Coupe Toddle Tots vehicle. It's got the little round figures that kind of look like little people that sit inside of them. I always pick these up. There's like tow trucks and just all kinds of different little vehicles that the Toddle Tots went inside of. And I ended up selling this Cozy Coupe for the $9.15. And if you find these, you're paying like a quarter or 50 cents at yard sales for them. This is a Bumpkins boy with his teddy bear. It was a light. I picked this up at the Goodwill bins. I do not know how it did not get broken, but I snagged it so that it wouldn't. And it's been listed a while, probably a couple of years, a while. But I ended up finally selling it for the $10.07. I think this is one of those items. It had been listed a while. I ended it, did sell similar, lowered the price, and it sold. This is a Barbie animal-loving lion cub. There was a whole series of Barbies that came out. I have found a couple of the little figures that went with it. But this is the first time I had had the lion. And, I mean, they're little, from the 1980s. And I ended up selling it for best offer of $7.50. This was a nice surprise. This is a McDonald's Hamburger Bean Plush. It was a promotion from 1997. I do not remember this ever. But I couldn't find any on eBay, so I listed quite high, and I ended up selling it for the $64.35. This is Inter-American Products. I've mentioned this in quite a few of my videos. I like that brand. They just tend to do quite well for me. This was just a little blue lamb that was 6 inches tall, and he ended up selling for the $22.95. This was a monkey plush. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a Dora the Explorer Boots monkey, but it wasn't in any way labeled that it was, but it definitely looked very similar to it. But it didn't have a tag either, and I ended up selling it for the $15.59. This is TB Trading Company. I think that was like a Walmart brand, but I'm not sure. I always just put TB Trading Company in my listings. But this was just a little rabbit. I picked this up recently. Had a little felt basket that had flowers in it. And the rabbit ended up selling for the $22.95. This is an Animal Alley Sammy dog. It's 14 inches. Probably picked it up for $1 or less at a yard sale. Like I've said before, many of the toys I purchase are usually $1 or less, with some exceptions. But I ended up selling this dog for the $18.35. I always say sloths, for some reason, are just very popular. This was just a Squeezamals little ball plush, just 3 3¾ inches tall, and I ended up selling it for the $9.15. This is Sesame Street Live Zoe doll, my second Zoe in this listing, or in this what sold, but I ended up selling her for the $10.07. This is Jawbone's railroad construction toy. I picked these up at a yard sale. It came in a huge box, and I just didn't want to deal with trying to ship a box that size, so I didn't include the box in this, and I ended up selling it for $15.59. This is How to Train Your Dragons. I bought a bag that had 2 of these dragons in. I've already sold one, and then it had another dinosaur from The Good Dinosaur. But this was the second dinosaur, and I ended up selling it for best offer of $25. They're very popular. This is La Baby Gray Elephant Lovey. Picked this up, I'm pretty sure, at a yard sale for probably $1/4 or 50 cents, and I ended up selling it for best offer of $10. This I picked up at a yard sale. I want to say I paid $5 for it, and at the yard sale, hoping, you know, you always run that risk that you get something and it actually does work. It did have its box, and I ended up listing it, and of course this is the time of year it finally did sell, and I did sell it for the $45.95. This was a maternity nightgown that we picked up. I want to say we paid $1 or $2 for it at a yard sale, and I ended up selling it for $18 best offer. These are some vintage sheets. There for a while I was picking them up, but I'm not seeing them very often, or they're just overpriced because I haven't bought sheets in a very long time. But I did sell this set of 3 pieces. It was the flat that fitted in a pillowcase for best offer of $15. They've just sat forever. There was a time when everybody was talking about selling vintage sheets, but I think unless they're colorful, flowery, or some of the higher brands, I just don't think it's worth it anymore. I could be wrong. This is an owl plush from Target. I did end up selling it for the $13.75. We picked up all of these jazz CDs from a church sale. I want to say we paid $1 each for them. And I double checked, made sure all the discs were there. I double checked the condition of them were there. And then I just decided, based on comps where people were selling 1 or 2, and then I looked on Amazon, I listed them for the $159.95, and they've been listed since earlier this year, but I ended up selling them on best offer of $120, and I've already received glowing feedback. I featured this in one of my recent hauls. I bought it even though it was broken, just to show you guys that this is something that you really should be looking for. And I showed examples. Some of these sell for $40, $50, $60. The one I bought, though, was broken, and the box had lots of issues. But I ended up selling it for best offer of $10. It was probably only listed a few days, and I'm good with that. I paid $2. Sold it for $10. This is just another example of some more of the brass that we've been buying and selling. I ended up selling these 3 pieces for best offer of $20. I'd actually found another one, was going to pull this listing, put it with them, and it sold before I could do that. This is a Hallmark coffee mug. It looked older. It said made in Japan on the bottom. Very cute though, and I ended up selling it for the $13.75. This is a hot dog dachshund ornament. Picked it up at a yard sale several months ago with a bunch of other Christmas ornaments. Probably had $1 in it, and I ended up selling it for best offer of $10. This is K&M International. It was a squirrel, and it did make sounds. So this is one of those things that I did sell it for the $9.15. But if you've got toys that have a sound box inside of them, make sure you ship them with the box. This is just another one of the strawberry shortcakes. I'm down to just a few of them left. I bought, I think, 21 new in the box strawberry shortcake dolls, and I think there was a nightlight and a garbage can and just all kinds of stuff, but I paid $5 each. I ended up selling this strawberry shortcake for best offer of $22. Another brass item that sold. These were only 3 inches tall, very little, like the size of a candle, but I listed them and sold them pretty quickly for best offer of $10. This is Hallmark's Rodney Reindeer. There's several in this set. Ramona is one of the girls. Ramona, I forget the other ones. There's like 4 of them. I always pick them up. Some of these were re-released from like Hardee's, and then Hallmark also had some that they put out. But this one I ended up selling for best offer of $10. A few more. We picked this first aid kit up at an estate sale a couple weeks ago for $2, and I ended up selling it for best offer of $17. My husband, he finds some of the weirdest things and they sell. This is a Commonwealth rabbit, kind of large, 16 inches, and I did sell it for the $22.95. This is another lovey. It's by Carter's. It was just a little white bear with like a cheetah type design on the blanket, and I did sell it for the $10.99. So just kind of a wide variety of things I sold here. This last one though, that was sold on eBay. This is a Twinkle Bear. This is the third one I have found in the last few years. It's by Fantasy Limited. It lit up. It was from 1995, so it was working. I did take a picture of it lit up. I paid 99 cents for this at a Goodwill. I knew instantly when I saw it that I had a treasure because I had sold the other two already. But I was sending out offers on this. I think the lowest I got at some point sending out offers was $145. And I tell you, it happens all the time. I send out offers and the item sells for the price that it's listed for. And this is what happened with this. It did sell for the $156.35. So I was thrilled. Definitely look for these. They've got these unique eyes, this little shiny nose, and then this little area right here lights up and kind of twinkles. All right, these next few items are Facebook orders that I had this past week, and then I had 2 bonanzas. This is 5 Nights at Freddy's. I ended up selling this neon one for $9. This is Fisher-Price Little People. I put a bunch of pairs. I got a huge bunch of these at a yard sale. I ended up separating all the pairs for the animals for the Noah Ark set, and these were what was left, so I just went ahead and put them all together and sold them for $13 on Facebook. Again, more of the Fisher-Price stuff. I picked up $25 for a house, which I put in my booth, and then I divvied up all of the furniture into sets, and I did sell this one for $22. This is a Fisher-Price Imaginext Batman Joker with the motorcycle. I sold it for the $12. And then this last one was, I went to a yard sale one time and he bought out a music store and he had all of these sealed Halloween, mostly I bought all the Halloween stuff that I could find. I bought 2 huge totes full of them, and I think I paid $40 maybe for all of them. And then some of these that were the lower dollars that I couldn't sell as one, I ended up making these lots. I'm down to just a few left, and I did sell these 2 for $8. And then this is, I saw a bag at a yard sale recently, and it had the dies that go to the pasta machines, and I know to pick them up. But funny thing was, is it had the measuring cup in there, and it had this instruction booklet. So I'd listed the little molds, the little cutters by themselves, and I already listed the cup and sold the cup for like $20 or $22. And then I sold this instruction recipe book for $9.95 on Bonanza. Just, we're doing really well with some of these small appliance stuff, parting them out. And don't forget the recipe books and the instruction books. You know, somebody might want them just to have it for a set that they already have. Oh, I'm not sure why it's on that picture. This is from the Dinosaur Train. There is a whole series of these trains that if you had several of them together, they interact together. This one is Buddy. He's the more common one. The other ones are a little bit harder to find, and they sell for a whole lot more. But I think I paid $1.50 for Buddy at a yard sale, and I ended up selling it on Bonanza for $14.95. All right, so that's it for last week, Monday through Thursday. Like I said, it was a really good week. Better than this week. I'm not complaining. Maybe just a little. But it's going to be okay. All right. Again, I think tomorrow's video I'm going to do a shorter one because I didn't sell as much over the weekend. And then I want to show you guys my spreadsheet. I'll talk more about it because I could start rambling right now. All right. I hope you guys are having great sales. We're going to try to go out and hit some yard sales tomorrow. There's hardly any in our town, so we're going to have to travel a little bit. But I think it's starting to wind down, and it's going to kind of be sad. All right. Bye.